This how God works. Play my position, what is given with no concerns. Go, 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 go. Set it out. Top of the morning, I'm gonna set it out.
Panic all around, but it doesn't faze us, cause we know the frequency and we keep it prayed up. Panic all around, but it doesn't faze us, cause we know the frequency and we keep it prayed up. Panic all around, but it doesn't faze us, cause the frequency and we keep it prayed up. Panic all around, but it doesn't faze us, cause we know the frequency and we keep it prayed up. Keep a song in your heart, keep a dance in your spirit, and don't let the fear whisper into your ears. Turn the music so loud you can't hear it. Creation has plans for us. Nature is only love, nature is only love, nature is only love. Love is my nature, so I'm here if you're lonely, love. They say if you don't know cage, then you can't know free. Multiply the designer, so shall it be. Healthy in harmony, tuned to the God, and we respect the goddess. It's all in the prophecy, written on walls they chose not to see. They ain't trying to tell y'all. I remember Jericho. From the windows to the walls. Just in case gravity ever let you forget, everything falls. The money isn't real, but the love is. Plus we got this endless supply of it. Don't forget when it's dark outside that you're ultraviolet. Panic all around, but it doesn't faze us, cause we know the frequency and we keep it prayed up. Panic all around, but it doesn't faze us, cause we know the frequency and we keep it prayed up. Panic all around, but it doesn't faze us, cause we know the frequency and we keep it prayed up. Panic all around, but it doesn't faze us, cause we know the frequency and we keep it prayed up.
What it do, y'all? What up? It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful Friday. If you don't already know, my name is Andrew Defy, a.k.a. the Gorilla Poet Laureate, a.k.a. the Hoodie God, a.k.a. Spittin' Quarantino, a.k.a. Zaddy Elastic Pants, a.k.a. I wear my sunglasses indoors at all times because my eyes are sensitive as my heart is, y'all. And it's a beautiful day. I missed y'all yesterday on the joy hunt, but I had some things I had to go run around and do, which turned into a really cool story of alignment. You know what I'm saying? I've been trying to get these things done for a couple of days and just not feeling good about them and just not in a good space. Like I needed to get myself straight. I did that. And then I got all of these things done in a matter of minutes yesterday. It was so easy and so worry-free that it just really reaffirmed to me yo, you should just make sure that you're in alignment and that you feeling good and that the vibe is right, and then do the thing. Alignment over hustle is what we call it around here. So I'm back, baby. It's Friday. Lots of reasons to be excited today. A lot of my joy is coming from watching the way the people are moving with the stocks and the Robin Hoods and the I don't even understand it all, y'all. I'm not a math person. I'm a word person, but I'm finding a lot of joy in watching the people take back what is theirs. This is beautiful. So we're just going to get right into it. I see a bunch of y'all tuned into the live stream already. Tell me what your number is.
This how God works. Play my position, what is given with no concerns. Go, 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 go. Set it out. Top of the morning, I'm going to set it out.
What's your number, y'all? What's your number? What's your number? What's your number? Yo, so we do this on a scale of 1 to 10. Pretty much, I'm not here to tell you how to do it. You could have your own scale, whatever scale you want to use. I'm just saying we usually go from a scale from 1 to 10. How you feeling today? Where's your joy level at? Where's your joy meter at? So make sure you check in with yourself. I like to do this in the morning time and then at night, and just kind of see where I was at throughout the day, whether things got better or things got worse. I like to say, if you don't know where you are, then you don't know where you're trying to get to. So, if you had a 3, you're trying to get to a 4. You're not trying to get to a 10. You know what I mean? So take a little bit of time. You ain't got to share it with me. You ain't got to share it with all of us. You can, though. You can jump in these comments at any time, like so. Cha said she had a 10 already this morning. I would say I'm at a solid 9. You know what I mean? I'm only a half a cup of joy juice away from being at that 10 right there with you. Like I said, there's a lot of joy coming from the young people today. I got to talk to my elder too right before I got on, which is always fun. Always the laughter that ensues. Especially because David he's both of our fathers, and we're still trying to figure that out, because Devin is our grandfather, but David is his father. It's a whole wild thing, y'all. So that's it. 60 seconds. Figure out your numbers. Figure out where you're at. Ask yourself the question, where are you at? What's your number at? Because then you know where you're trying to get to for the rest of the day. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. A little bit of the great joy hint.
This how God works. Play my position, what is given with no concerns. Go. Set it out. Top of the morning, I'm gonna set it out.
So I had something pop up in my Facebook memories today that I want to talk about. And I distinctly remember this man. Randall chiming in with the 10 early today. Let's go. Let's get it. I had something pop up in my memories, and it was talking about how I sat with this dude, and he thought he was gonna die of loneliness the night before. I found this dude behind Soul Collective. He was crashed out. I thought he was just one of our unhoused neighbors. You know what I mean? Turned out that he had gotten kicked out of his house. The wifey kicked him out of his house the night before. He didn't have his wallet, didn't have his car, didn't have nothing. He just decided to lay down behind the building and literally thought he was gonna die of loneliness. You know what I'm saying? Was just I wasn't gonna get up. You know what I mean? And I rolled out and was like, "Yo, man, you good?" And we sit down, we have a conversation. Back then I was smoking, so I lit up a cigarette. I lit him up a cigarette, and we start talking. And he was just so heartbroken and so lonely, and a lot of us have been there, right? That kind of heartbreak where you're just fuck, I'm gonna lay down and I'm not gonna get up, and we started talking, and in that conversation I was able to word something to him that I've been working out to tell myself for a long time, right? And this was this idea that yo, you're undefeated. When it comes to these bad days, you're undefeated. How many of these bad days have you had, right? How many of these days have you had where you're yo, I don't want to get out of bed. Yo, I don't want to deal with people today. I don't want to go to that stupid job. I don't want to do whatever responsibility I have to do. I don't want to see family. I don't want whatever it is, right? We've all had those days. The days where you were this is the end. This sucks more than a suck has ever sucked before, right? And how many of those days have you laughed since? How many of those days have you found joy since, right? It always feels like it's going to be the end. You know what I mean? We as humans, it feels worse than it's going to be. You know what I mean? So just this idea that you're undefeated. You know what I mean? That every time that one of those days has come to you, every time that one of those things is just piled on top of you, you were oh, I'm not going to win this time. You won. You've cracked a smile since then. You've laughed since then. You've had a joyful day since then. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to share that idea. That definitely helps me in some of the hard days to be yo, I'm undefeated. I'm undefeated. This ain't gonna take me out. You know what I mean? So that's part of the great joy hint today. Also, it's Friday, so I got some outside perspectives Heather says, yes, living through it is the ultimate resistance. Yo, and how much have we lived through? You know what I mean? If you anything like me, you lived through a lot. You know what I mean? I've lived through doctors telling me that I wasn't gonna make it. You know what I mean? I've lived through doctors telling me I was supposed to be dead a year ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was 20 plus years ago. So, you know, just this idea that you are undefeated in these bad days. They've never taken you out so far, and they're not going to. You know what I'm saying? So just want to drop that on you. Also, like I said, it is Friday, right? It's Friday, right? I think it's Friday. So it's Friday, so I like to bring in someone from outside of myself who teaches in this work, who got some lessons. And this woman I came across at the very beginning of the pandemic. I don't know how many of y'all signed up. Yo, real talk. And I mean, depending on your belief in death, you know what I'm saying? Like, and how thin that veil is. Like, I'll be hollering at the homies that didn't make it all the time, you know? So this woman that I'm about to play, she's a professor at Yale. She does a class called The Science of Happiness. I think it's called The Science of Happiness. And it really like illuminated some things for me at the beginning of this pandemic about what we think is going to make us happy, how happy we think it's going to make us versus how happy it actually makes us, how long happiness lasts. You know, it's a very interesting science behind it. The things that we think will make us happy never make us as happy as we think they will. Things that we think would crush us don't actually crush us in the way that we think they will. So I got so much out of this class, and it really just like changed a lot of the ways that I think about happiness. So I just want to introduce you to this woman and this class. So here we go, y'all.
We all have these intuitions about the kinds of things that will really make us happy. We think it's more money, material possessions. My students think it's, perfect grades. The sad thing is that the research shows that a lot of those intuitions are just dead wrong. As a professor, I started to see on campus the mental health crisis that we hear so much about in the news, but I was really seeing it in the trenches. Students who were too depressed to function or having panic attacks because they were waiting for their grades or worried about their internships. I just realized that students needed some help to navigate the kind of mental health challenges that they were facing. And I thought the science of psychology really could provide them with some help. I've heard from mothers who've given this class to teens who are really struggling, who are feeling suicidal, and they feel like the tips that they've learned together as a family has really kind of improved things and really helped people who are in really pretty serious mental health crisis. One of my favorite responses that we received was from an elderly learner who wrote and said, I'm in my 80s, this is the first online class I've taken. Even in my 80s, these tips have been helping me. They're reminding me to spend more time with my grandkids and to spend more time being social. One of the most common critiques I get when I tell people I teach a class on the science of happiness is, wait, really? That's a science? I mean, when we think of happiness, we often think of something that's kind of ephemeral or even hokey or kind of, granola hippy-dippy stuff. But what separates the platitudes from the scientific version of seeking happiness is the science part. Research shows the kinds of things we really can be doing. By that, we just mean make a social connection, like talk to someone who's in line with you at the coffee shop or someone who's near you on your commute. Many of us feel lonely all the time, which is surprising because we're often around other people. We just don't try to make a connection with them. There's tons of scientific evidence that meditation has a host of positive effects. Meditation can help you improve your concentration, not just when you're meditating, but even afterwards. But more importantly, meditation can improve your mood. It's a technique that can help us stop mind wandering, this act of thinking about all these other things that aren't going on in the here and now. We think having more choices makes us happier. This is another spot where our mind is wrong. We'd be better off restricting our choices and even limiting our freedom. It will improve our well-being much more than we expect. Every time we stick in an external reward into an activity we otherwise enjoy, it makes us enjoy that activity less. It makes us less likely we'll do that activity in the absence of a reward, and it kind of steals our joy. We forget that the quick 5 minutes it's going to take to reconnect with someone we care about is going to boost our mood incredibly. It's going to reduce our loneliness and just make us feel more connected to the people we really care about. Research shows that jotting down 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for just every night can statistically improve your well-being in as short as 2 weeks. So if you want to feel better mentally and to feel better physically, you need to get some shut-eye. The recommended amount is 7 to 8 hours a night, and it's best if you do it with a little bit of sleep hygiene. Get rid of the phones before you go to bed and really try to go to sleep at the same hour every night. It feels a little bit old-fashioned, but it's the kind of thing that can start boosting your mood immediately.
Yeah. Yo, so you see the things that she said to be happy were making connections. Had a lot to do with like calling friends, checking in on people, touching base with strangers. You know what her tips were not go make some more money. Go take a fancy vacation. These are all things that we think are going to make us happier that don't actually make us happier. You know what I'm saying? That gratitude, though, that gratitude will. So, you know, get on them gratitude practices and make sure you're staying in connection. You know, a lot of, we've been seeing a lot of mental health issues arising in the community, and a lot of that having to do with the lack of connection that's going on due to this pandemic. You know, it's not like, my house used to be full of people on an everyday basis. So now being in a place where I don't see people too often, making sure I got an app called Marco Polo where I can leave video messages for people and they can leave them for me all day. So we don't got to actually be on a phone call at the same time, but we can communicate and we can touch base. So let me see, Randall, let me get that for you. Lori Santos. Lori Santos is that woman's name. Professor Lori Santos over at Yale University. And I believe the class is still free. I believe the class is still offered free at Yale, and you can get a little certificate that comes with it, or you can just take it without getting the certificate. And I think it's absolutely free if you do that. And just the ideas around what made us happy, and what didn't make us happy was so wild to me. Just seeing these. Just seeing the things that you statistically think that you're like, if I got a better job, if I made more money, if I was more financially secure, if students got better grades, we think these are the things that would make us feel better, feel happier. They are truly not the things that make us feel happier. You know what I mean? So if you're interested in that class, Lori Santos over at Yale University, it's called The Science of Well-Being, I believe is the actual name of the class. So that being said, we got a few people on the live stream. It is time for that part of our show, y'all. Where's your joy at?
This how God works. Play my position, what is given with no concerns. Go. Set it out. Top of the morning, I'm gonna set it out.
Where's your joy at, y'all? If you're on the live stream, Tell me where your joy is coming from this morning. You just saw that, she said writing down 3 to 5 things that you are grateful for in the evening before you go to sleep will help out. I also say in the morning time, which is where we at right now. So what are you grateful for? Where's your joy coming from this morning? Tap in with me. Tell me where your joy is coming from this morning. I'm sipping on this joy juice, listening to new beats. You know what I mean? I got one of my iPads that was broken, fixed yesterday. So I thought I'd lost everything that was on this thing. So I'm really excited to have that back. Really grateful to have that back. Some of my music back, and just some of the technology. And just really grateful for the people who fix the technology, because I'm not that dude. I cannot fix some technology. Where's your joy coming from, y'all? I see you on the live stream. I see you in the comments. So tell me where your joy is coming from this morning. I know a lot of people looking at this weather outside right now being like, man, I miss that sun. But I'm trying to say, I'm so thankful for this rain. I'm so thankful for this rain right now. Like, y'all remember when these fires were hitting and we couldn't get no rain? Oh, fine. Come on. The people want to see you anyways. Come on. Ugh. Speaking of joy, my other little source of joy right here, even though her feet are still a little bit wet from being outside. Yeah, man, I'm so thankful for the rain. I'm so thankful for the plants getting the rain. You know what I mean? I could have done without a little bit of that wind, but you know. Cha-Cha says expansion, the power of possibilities and opening my mind to new truths and knowledge. Also food delivery. Yo, 360 degrees. It is always 360 degrees. And that's a 10. That's a 10 right there of like, when you're like expansion, the power of possibilities, opening my mind to new truths, and not like, you got to be at a 10 to be hunting that down. You know what I mean? It's not something to be there for the 4s and the 5s. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's dope. I know Cha-Cha's working on them gateway tapes as well right now. If you don't know about the gateway tapes and the hemisync, it's about syncing the 2 hemispheres of your brain together using binaural frequencies. You know how they say humans only use a small percentage of their brain. We're trying to up that percentage a little bit. What up, y'all? Where's your joy at? Where's your joy at? Her joy is that she slept in today. She did not want to be up, so she just stayed her pretty ass in bed. Where's your joy coming from? If you are tuned in on the live stream, tell me where your joy is at. Where are we finding joy this morning? Definitely finding joy in the rain, finding joy in the juice as per always. Finding joy in the freedom, the freedom to create. You know, I got to make some music last night that I haven't sat down and just made some music in a while. You know what I mean? If you are just tuning in, just joining us, leave your joy in the comments. Where are you finding joy? What are you grateful for? We do this as a collective every day so that we can tap in to our joy, other people's joy, maybe spark some joy, maybe get some ideas for some joy. I know I got hit yesterday that someone tried the asking people where their joy is at on the phone. Yeah, it's going to get to be a thing. It's going to get to be a thing where we just like run up on people. Where's your joy at? Where's your joy at? Yeah. Heather says joy, making new art. Yo, so real, so real. And you know what's funny is too, like working on new art forms, right? Like, so I have a lot of art forms that I do professionally that I've gotten down pretty well. You know what I mean? Like people pay me to do these art forms. I also have a couple of art forms that I'm not very good at, that I'm just learning, that it doesn't matter if I'm good at because there's no paying customers. So I'm really hype about those and to like have a couple of outlets that that I just get to explore because I like to explore them, because I want to explore them. So, especially for the artists out there who are working artists, a lot of times we lose the joy in creating things because we got customers and we've got orders and we've got all of those things. So, don't be afraid to start a new art form that you're not amazing at. Let's see. Where else is, we go back to the running water and the electricity. Because when that electricity turned out the other night, I really got thankful for it. You know what I mean? Ain't that just a human condition? I can't be thankful for something until it's taken away from me. But, definitely thankful for all of that. Thankful for all of y'all that tune in. Thankful for everybody who taps in throughout the day with their joy. My pops shared one of the streams the other day. That was huge for me. Just means we're doing something right when the man who taught you how to joy hunt is sharing the joy hunt. So, stay on it. We had a little past 11 right now. I got a couple more things I got to do. My business license came, y'all. Hire Andrew Defy Consulting for all of your consulting needs. We do it all from vibration to content creation. So, I got to get a couple things in order. That's another part of my joy is I get to do that today. I get to kind of line some things up for my business. Finally started my own business. So I got to take off and get some of that stuff done right about now. But I'm super thankful for all of y'all who joined in, for all of y'all who continue to join in. And just to be able to do this with you, to be able to just like hunt the joy with you, I really, I just really appreciate all of y'all. And, I hope you have the best day possible. And, my name is Andrew Defy, and I love you, and you can't do shit about it.
This how God works. Play my position, what is given with no concerns. Go, 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 go. Set it out. Top of the morning, I'm gonna set it out.